Imagine walking into a room with a single computer screen. On that screen, there's a button. If you press it at the exact right moment, you walk away with $10,000. But if you press it even a second too early or a second too late, you lose everything you have. Now, here's the catch. The right moment might not happen for 3 days. You have to sit there, staring at that screen, for 72 hours. You can't leave. You can't look away. You just have to wait. Most people would break within the first 3 hours. They'd get bored. They'd get anxious. Their mind would start playing tricks on them, whispering, "Maybe now is the time. Just press it. Get it over with." And that, right there, is why most people will never be successful traders. The biggest lie we were ever told growing up is that hard work means constant movement. We were taught that if you aren't doing something, you aren't working. If you aren't typing, you aren't productive. If you aren't hustling, you're being lazy. But in the world of the markets, that logic is a death sentence. In this game, your work isn't the trade you take. Your real work is the hours of silence you endure before the trade exists. It's the ability to sit on your hands while the rest of the world is screaming and clicking and losing their minds. Think about your own day for a second. You sit down, you open the charts, and you feel this spark. It's like an electric pulse in your fingertips. You want to see a move. You want to feel the rush of being in the market. You look at a candle moving up, and your brain starts shouting at you. It says, "Look, it's going." If you don't jump in now, you're going to be left behind while everyone else gets rich. So you click. You enter a position. And the moment you do, that anxiety disappears for a split second, replaced by a strange sense of relief. You aren't relieved because it was a good trade. You're relieved because you finally ended the torture of waiting. You traded because you were bored, not because you were right. This is the action trap, and it's designed to drain your bank account dry. The market is a master at playing with your biology. It knows you are a human being evolved to hunt and gather. It knows that sitting still feels unnatural to you. So it throws little wiggles at you. It gives you, almost, setups. It creates fake breakouts that look just good enough to tempt you. It's like a predator waiting for you to get impatient. And the second you break your discipline, the second you decide that close enough is good enough, the market snaps its jaws shut. I want you to really think about the trades that actually hurt you. I'm not talking about the ones where you followed your plan, the setup was perfect, but the market just didn't go your way. Those are fine. Those are just the cost of doing business. No, I'm talking about the ghost trades. The ones that weren't in your plan. The ones you took on a whim because you saw a big green candle or because you felt like you needed to make back a loss from earlier. Those trades are the ones that kill your soul. They don't just take your money, they take your self-respect. Every time you take a trade you know you shouldn't, you are telling your subconscious mind that your rules don't matter. You are telling yourself that you aren't a professional, but a gambler looking for a fix. What if, starting tomorrow, you treated your trading account like a high-security vault? What if you only had 5 keys for the entire month? Each key represents one trade. If you use all 5 in the first 2 days because you were chasing random moves, you're done. You have to sit and watch the market for the next 28 days without being able to touch it. If you knew you only had 5 shots, would you still take that, maybe, setup on a Tuesday morning? Would you still jump into that messy consolidation zone just because you were bored after lunch? Of course not. You would wait. You would become a ghost. You would watch the price action with the eyes of a hawk, waiting for that one undeniable, perfect moment where the odds are so heavily in your favor that it would be stupid not to act. That is the mindset of a professional. A pro doesn't find trades. A pro allows the trades to find them. There is a massive difference between the two. When you're hunting for a trade, you're desperate. You're forcing patterns into places where they don't exist. You're squinting at the screen, trying to convince yourself that a messy chart is actually a head and shoulders or a bull flag. But when a trade finds you, it's effortless. You look at the screen and you just know. There's no internal argument. There's no should I or shouldn't I. It's just clear. But to get to that level of clarity, you have to be willing to survive the boredom. Boredom is the final boss of trading. It's not the news events. It's not the algorithms. It's the silence. Most traders fail because they can't handle a Wednesday where nothing happens. They feel like they've wasted their day if they haven't put on a position. But let me tell you something that might change your life. A day where you take 0 trades because your setup wasn't there is a 100% successful day. It is a day where you protected your capital. It is a day where you exercised your discipline. It is a day where you won the battle against your own ego. In fact, some of my most profitable months were the ones where I traded the least. Because by staying out of the noise, I saved all my mental energy and all my capital for the 3 or 4 moves that actually mattered. Imagine a lion on the savannah. Does the lion chase every single rabbit that hops by?
No.
If it did, it would burn all its energy and starve to death. The lion spends 90% of its day sleeping or just watching. It looks at the herd. It waits for the weak link. It waits for the perfect weather conditions, the right distance, the perfect moment of distraction. And when it finally moves, it moves with total conviction. It doesn't try to catch the prey. It executes. As a trader, you are that lion. The rabbits are the small, choppy price movements that happen every few minutes. They look tempting, but they aren't enough to feed you. They are just distractions. Your job is to stay in the grass, stay quiet, and wait for the big move that changes your month. The problem is that our society has conditioned us to crave dopamine. We check our phones every 2 minutes for a notification. We scroll through endless feeds for a quick hit of excitement. We have lost the ability to just be. And we carry that addiction right into the trading screens. We want the ding of a profit target. We want the rush of the price moving in our direction. We are addicted to the feeling of being right. But the market doesn't care about your feelings. The market is a giant machine designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. It's a giant psychological experiment. It rewards the people who can control their impulses and punishes those who can't. If you're feeling frustrated right now, if you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of winning a little and then giving it all back on stupid trades, I want you to stop and breathe. You don't need a better strategy. You don't need a more expensive indicator. You don't need a faster computer. You need to fall in love with the art of waiting. You need to start finding pride in the trades you don't take. Think about the power you have when you are flat, when you have no open positions. When you are flat, the market cannot hurt you. You are invulnerable. You are the observer. You can see the market for what it really is, without the bias of, I need this to go up, or I need this to go down. This is your power. But the moment you click that button, you give that power away. You are now at the mercy of the candles. You are now emotionally tied to the outcome. Why would you give that power away for a maybe? Why would you trade your peace of mind for a setup that is only 50-50? The secret to longevity in this business is preserving your mental capital. We talk a lot about protecting our money, but we don't talk enough about protecting our minds. Every time you take a bad trade, you drain your mental battery. You get tired. You get angry. You get tilted. And when the real opportunity finally shows up later that day or the next morning, your battery is at 5%. You're too exhausted to even see the setup, or you're too scared to take it because you just lost on 3 stupid trades in a row. By cutting out the junk trades, you keep your mind sharp. You keep your killer instinct fresh. You ensure that when the big one comes, you are ready to strike with everything you've got. I want you to try a challenge. For the next week, I want you to act like every single trade you take is going to be published on the front page of the news. Every entry, every stop loss, every reason for the trade, everyone you know is going to see it. Would you be proud of that board trade you took at 2 p.m. on a slow Thursday? Would you be able to explain to a room full of professionals why you jumped into a market that was clearly trending against you? If the answer is no, then don't take the trade. It's that simple. We often think that being a trader means trading. But being a trader actually means being a risk manager. Your job is to say no 1,000 times a day. No to that breakout. No to that tip you saw on social media. No to that feeling in your gut that has no basis in logic. You are the gatekeeper of your account. Nothing gets in unless it passes the strictest test imaginable. And here's the beautiful part. Once you master the weight, the money starts to feel like a side effect. You stop obsessing over the dollar amount and start obsessing over your own performance. You start getting a high from following your rules perfectly. You realize that the greatest feeling in the world isn't a winning trade. It's the feeling of closing your laptop at the end of the day knowing that you did exactly what you said you were going to do. It's the feeling of knowing that you are in control of yourself, even if you can't control the market. This journey is not easy. It's probably the hardest thing you'll ever do because it requires you to face yourself. The charts are just a mirror. They reflect your greed, your fear, your insecurities, and your impatience back at you in real time. If you're a disorganized person in life, you'll be a disorganized trader. If you're an impulsive person, you'll be an impulsive trader. But that also means that by becoming a better trader, you are becoming a better human being. You are learning discipline. You are learning emotional regulation. You are learning the value of silence. Every morning when you sit down at your desk, tell yourself this: I don't need to make money today. I only need to follow my process. Because the money is a result of the process. If you follow a winning process, the money has no choice but to show up eventually. But if you focus on the money, you will break your process to get it, and that is how you lose everything. The market is always going to be there. There will be another trade tomorrow. There will be another once-in-a-lifetime opportunity next week. The market is an infinite stream of chances. You don't have to catch them all. You don't even have to catch most of them. You just need to catch the ones that are yours. Think about the relief of letting go. Letting go of the need to be right. Letting go of the fear of missing out. Letting go of the pressure to perform every single minute. When you let go of those things, trading becomes quiet. It becomes peaceful. It becomes almost boring. And that's when you know you're doing it right. If your trading is exciting, you're probably gambling. If your trading is a bit dull and feels like waiting for paint to dry, you're probably on the path to wealth. So, the next time you feel that itch, that urge to click just to feel something, take your hand off the mouse. Stand up. Walk away from the screen. Go outside and look at the trees. They aren't in a hurry, yet they grow. The stars aren't in a hurry, yet they move across the sky. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Come back when your heart is calm. Come back when you don't need the market to do anything for you. You have the talent. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. Now, all you need is the courage to do nothing until it is time to do everything. Success isn't found in the number of times you click. It's found in the strength of your character during the hours of waiting. Stay patient. Stay disciplined. And remember, the greatest trades are the ones that are worth the wait. The world is full of people who want the prize without the process. They want the freedom, the money, and the lifestyle, but they aren't willing to endure the psychological warfare that happens in the silence between the trades. They want the glory of the win, but they run from the boredom of the wait. You are not like them. By being here, by listening to this, you are choosing a different path. You are choosing the path of the master. And the master knows that the market is a mirror of the soul. If your soul is restless, your equity curve will be restless. If your soul is at peace, your equity curve will eventually reflect that peace. It's not about the perfect entry. There is no such thing. It's about the perfect state of mind. It's about reaching a point where you are so detached from the outcome that a win doesn't make you a king and a loss doesn't make you a failure. You are just an observer of probabilities. You are a scientist performing an experiment. When you reach that level, the itch disappears. The FOMO vanishes. You see a massive move happen without you, and instead of feeling pain, you simply say, "That wasn't my setup," and you move on. That is true freedom. That is the moment you stop being a slave to the candles and start being the master of your own destiny. It takes time to build this muscle. You wouldn't expect to go to the gym and lift 500 pounds on your first day. Patience is a muscle, and you have to train it. Every time you say no to a bad trade, you are doing a rep. You are getting stronger. You are becoming more resilient. It might feel like you aren't making progress because your account balance isn't moving, but your character is growing, and that is the most valuable asset you have. I want you to look at your screen tomorrow not as a way to make money, but as a test of your integrity. Can you keep the promises you made to yourself? Can you look at a tempting but invalid setup and have the strength to walk away? If you can do that, you have already won the day. The profits are just the applause at the end of the play. Focus on the stillness. Find the beauty in the waiting, because in that gap between your desire and your action, that is where your greatness lives. That is where the professional is born. You have everything you need inside you right now. No more chasing. No more rushing. Just wait. The market will come to you. And when it does, you'll be ready. Think about the long game. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you want to be someone who is still stressed out, jumping from one strategy to the next, blowing accounts and feeling miserable? Or do you want to be the person who sits calmly in their office, takes 3 trades a week, and spends the rest of their time living life because they've mastered the art of patience? The second version of you is possible, but it requires you to kill the first version of you. It requires you to kill the gambler. It's time to stop treating the market like a slot machine and start treating it like a business. Businesses have rules. Businesses have standards. And the most successful businesses in the world are the ones that know exactly who their customer is and ignore everyone else. Your customer is your specific, high-probability setup. Everyone else, the noise, the random moves, the maybe trades, they aren't your customers. Let them go to someone else. Let someone else lose their money trying to serve them. You stay focused on your niche. You are a specialist. A specialist doesn't do everything. They do one thing better than anyone else. Find your one thing. It might be a specific type of breakout, a specific bounce off a level, or a specific reversal pattern. Whatever it is, master it. And then, have the discipline to ignore everything that isn't that one thing. It's going to feel lonely sometimes. You'll see people on the internet posting about massive gains they made on a random meme coin or a crazy news spike. You'll feel that familiar sting of, why wasn't I in that? In those moments, I want you to remember, you aren't looking for a win. You're looking for a career. The people who get lucky on random moves usually give it all back because they haven't built the character to keep it. But the person who builds wealth through discipline keeps it forever. Your journey starts today. Not with a trade, but with a decision. A decision to be different. A decision to be patient. A decision to be a professional. The next time you open your laptop, take a deep breath. Look at the charts and ask yourself, is my trade here, or am I just looking for an excuse to click? Be honest with yourself. If it's not there, be proud. Close the laptop. You just did your job. This is the path. It's a quiet path. It's a path that requires you to be okay with being bored. But it's the only path that leads to where you want to go. You've got this. The silence is your friend. The wait is your edge. Now go out there and be the most patient person in the room. The market is a sea of emotions, and most people are drowning in it. They are tossed around by the waves of fear and greed, never staying in one place long enough to find solid ground. But you are the lighthouse. You are fixed. You are steady. You don't move for the waves. You just shine your light and wait for the right ship to come into your harbor. When you shift your perspective like this, the pressure disappears. You realize that you don't have to make anything happen. You just have to be there when it happens. It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything. It takes the weight off your shoulders. It turns trading from a stressful battle into a calm observation. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be disciplined. You will make mistakes. You will occasionally click when you shouldn't. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. Don't go on a revenge spree. Just acknowledge it. Say, I let my impulses win that round, and then go back to the wait. Every moment is a new chance to be disciplined. Every candle is a new opportunity to practice patience. You are building a life of freedom, but that freedom is earned through the prison of your own rules. It's a paradox. The more strictly you follow your rules, the more free you become. The more you limit your actions, the more you expand your results. So, as you go forward, keep this vision in your mind. You, sitting calmly, watching the world go by, waiting for your moment. No stress. No rush. Just the quiet confidence of a master. That is who you are becoming. Every second you wait, you are getting closer to that version of yourself. The market will try to tempt you. It will try to break you. It will try to make you feel like you're missing out. Just smile. You know the secret now. You know that the real money isn't in the clicking, it's in the sitting. You know that your greatest asset isn't your balance, it's your self-control. Go forward with peace. Go forward with discipline. And most importantly, go forward with the knowledge that you are enough, even if you don't take a single trade today. Your value is not defined by your P&L. It's defined by your character. And a person of character is someone who can wait for the truth. This is your time. Not to rush, but to grow. Not to chase, but to attract. The market is ready for you. The question is, are you ready to be still? As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, you'll start to see the results. Not just in your bank account, but in your life. You'll find that you're calmer in traffic. You're more present with your family. You're less reactive to the stresses of the world. Because you've mastered the hardest thing a human can master, yourself. Trading is the ultimate self-development tool disguised as a financial market. Embrace the process. Love the boredom. Trust the wait. You are a trader. And a trader is a master of time. Final thought. If you can master the next 10 minutes of silence, you can master the next 10 years of your life. It all starts with the breath you take right now. No more clicking for the sake of clicking. Only the best. Only the clean. Only the trades that are yours. The market is opening soon. Or maybe it's already open. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are different now. You are the hunter, not the prey. You are the sniper, not the target. You are the master of the wait. Now, go and prove it to yourself. Not by what you do, but by what you choose not to do. That is where your power lies. That is where your future begins. Stay focused. Stay calm. And above all, stay patient. Your moment is coming. And because you waited, you will be ready to take it.